What's up? What's good, fam? I hope everyone is doing good this Wednesday afternoon. Good to be here with you guys live for a change. Not always can we be live with you guys on Wednesdays. And I want to announce a minor change, a switch up in the Something Extra on Wednesdays. This will be done not only online, but also in your respective branches. If you're watching us online, or if you guys are going to be attending with your family, your VYG fam in your respective branches, or maybe you are watching online with the fam, doesn't matter. Regardless, everywhere we are going to have on the last Wednesday of the month a Q&A session. Will be myself, will be Shaka, and will be General answering a few questions. Today I'm going to ride solo, and I'm not going to waste much time, but I am going to go straight to the point and answer a few questions. I quickly heard 2 or 3 of these questions. I did not even have time to prepare for it, and I did that deliberately because I don't want to be prepared for it. I want to be able to answer you guys as truthful, as genuine as possible, all right? And as you see up here, Tea's gone cold, a couple of days to go, less than a month away. We will be having the biggest VYG event. I hope you guys are ready for it, but we're going to talk more about this later on. So let's go for the first question. Let us hear the first question and let's kick in with it. Let's go.
Hi, just a quick question. How do you tell the difference between a young person lacking discipline versus a young person experiencing a deep burnout? Please help.
Let me hear that again. I want to be able to answer accurately. Let me hear it once again. Give me a second. I get my headphones because I don't want it to give you guys feedback from my speaker. My apologies, fam. Let me just connect this here quickly. As I told you guys, I'm live today. We're live today, so ain't no time to... No way for me to not have any mistakes here. Okay, we'll connect it there. Now let's hear what the question says again.
Hi, just a quick question. How do you tell the difference between a young person lacking discipline versus a young person experiencing a deep burnout? Please help.
Okay, so the difference between a young person lacking discipline and a young person dealing with a burnout. That's a pretty intriguing question, and I'm going to try to answer it to the best of my knowledge and ability. And if I ever don't have the answer, I will look for the answer. I don't want you guys to go unanswered. I just feel like the lack of discipline naturally assists someone who's under a lot of pressure to naturally face a burnout. Not that a person who's not disciplined will not ever face a burnout, but I also do believe that when a person is disciplined, the chances of dealing, or better yet, the chances of having to deal with a burnout might be a lot less. And even if they do have to deal with a burnout, I do believe that with discipline, you have better means of dealing with that specific situation. I hope I'm making sense, because think about it this way. When you lack discipline, everything's a mess. Everything is a complete mess. Things aren't the way they should be, nor where they should be, nor how they should be. Not that discipline naturally puts everything in its place, but when you are disciplined, you have more control over things. For example, if you're disciplined with time, you're disciplined with a certain thing or habit, behavior which overpowers you. If you have discipline, you will know how to deal with those things or put those things in order. And when other challenges, like a burnout or any other thing which goes against the flow of your life, of the things that you want, unexpected events, they take place, such as a burnout, you have better means of dealing with it because at least this is sorted. So if I'm disciplined with my money, for example, I don't have to stress about it being an issue in my life because I'm disciplined with that. So I know what to do. I know how to get out of it. I know how to deal with the situation, and I'm going to get out of it. Or at least I don't have to deal with the financial aspect because guess what? I'm disciplined with that. But now, if you lack discipline, you will face the burnout, and the chances are you will not be able to deal with either or. One will actually become an added snow to the snowball, if I'm actually making sense. I hope that answers your question. Let me hear it one more time because I want to be sure that I didn't miss any point here.
Hi, just a quick question. How do you tell the difference between a young person lacking discipline versus a young person experiencing a deep burnout? Please help.
So she also mentions, how do you tell the difference? I don't know if you're talking about yourself or about another person. About yourself, well, you know if you're being disciplined or not. And if it's about someone else, well, that person's other areas of their lives will reflect how disciplined they are. Like I said, with time, with their expenditure, with their health, with the care that they have for their health and time management, and all the other things they will reflect. But I repeat, a person who faces burnout, if he or she is disciplined with his life, he will be able to deal with the burnout a lot more than a person who is not disciplined because everything will be all over the show. All right. I hope that answers your question. And I loved that question. Very intelligent question. Let's go to the next one. Number 2 of our Something Extra Q&A edition.
Hi, my question is, for a first job, should I go for a high salary with a toxic culture or a low salary with a great mentor?
I'm going to play it once again so you guys can hear it. But very good question. I have the answer already.
Hi, my question is, for a first job, should I go for a high salary with a toxic culture or a low salary with a great mentor?
I believe in the saying that if you do what you love, you will never work a day in your life. A high paying salary guarantees most of your financial needs and necessities. But a toxic environment, on the other hand, drains you mentally. And it reaches a point that even what you've accomplished and achieved just doesn't bring you the joy and the satisfaction. Of course, the first few moments, you will definitely enjoy it because, hey, money's coming in. Why not? You can enjoy it and spend it. But after it becomes something which you're now accustomed to, you will go through hell when you have to deal with a toxic situation. Now, you having a good mentor, somebody who's taking care of you, that good mentorship will be able to enrich you here, which is the most important. And that enrichment which you get here, you can convert it into here if that's what you're working for as well. So I'm fully in favor of doing what you love in an environment which you enjoy, and I don't think you will ever work a single day of your life. Very nice question, though. I loved it. Thank you so much for that. Let's go to the next one.
Hi, my question is, mental health and burnout are major crises for young people trying to establish themselves in highly competitive environments. How can leadership move past wellness buzzwords and create structural support systems for emerging talent?
I'm going to play it again, but that's deep. I have one answer already, but let's listen to him again.
Hi, my question is, mental health and burnout are major crises for young people trying to establish themselves in highly competitive environments. How can leadership move past wellness buzzwords and create structural support systems for emerging talent?
Number one, the VYG is here exactly for that. That's exactly why the VYG exists and for what the VYG exists, specifically to help young people overcome those situations and those crises, burnouts and the mental health. But I think it is important for us to make people understand, similarly to what I said before, the importance of people not measuring success by what you're earning here. In case you don't know, in many cases, the people who are mostly stacked here are the people who are going through a lot of burnout and mental health challenges. Do you know why? Because after they've achieved everything in this direction and they can buy whatever they want, they realize that that's not fulfilling enough. So perhaps we should teach and encourage people to understand that, hey, life is not just about what you are going to conquer here. Like I said, enriching your mind is a lot more than enriching your pockets or your bank account. So I think it is necessary for us to firstly make people understand that success, it has no direct correlation with financial success. Of course, success is being happy with your accomplishments. Some people want to accomplish a success on the level of becoming millionaires, billionaires, whereby there are others who just want a comfortable life where they can provide for themselves and their family. Be very cautious with allowing yourself to be misled with the achievement, the pursuit of happiness, with, the pursuit of moolah. Be cautious with that, because that may, can, and will definitely destroy you if you are not wise and intelligent in that regard. So be very, very, very wise when making any decisions which might compromise your mental health, might or may compromise your mental health. Be cautious, be very, but really, really, really cautious with that. And I think in terms of leadership, as you said, in general, how that could be assisted, programs like the VYG, the programs we have been running, allowing people with an energetic space to bring a less, I wouldn't say corporative, but an environment which people can breathe and be humans, because especially in the corporate environment, people are almost like robots. Give them the opportunity to be humans. Create an environment where people understand and remembered and get reminded that they are humans. Because although the boss wants to get the money in the bag, he needs to remember that he's dealing with humans and not with robots. Robots have no feelings. AI has no feelings. If I ask GPT here something and I don't like it, I can tell him off or it off. It's not a he nor a she. It's a machine. It has no emotions nor feelings. But you, as a human being, you've got feelings. And people need to understand that. Create the culture of being good to others, kindness, greeting. Create that environment, We sometimes go to schools, go to places where it is in their culture that you have to greet, you have to smile, you have to acknowledge the customer. That makes people feel a lot better. If we can create that, I think it's already a good start and a good step. There are other things, of course, which we could implement, but I think that would be already a good start. Okay, thank you for that awesome question. On to the next one. This is the fourth question now. I'm loving this.
Hi, so my question is social media creating a generation of hyper-aware activists, or is it just creating performative outreach?
That's an intriguing question. Let's play it again.
Hi, so my question is social media creating a generation of hyper-aware activists, or is it just creating performative outreach?
Hyperactive what?
Hi, so my question is social media creating a generation of hyper-aware activists, or is it just creating performative outreach?
Performative outreach. I think it's a bit of both. I do believe past generations were restricted to one specific kind of information, which was generally from the television or from the radio. We, on the other hand, have the power to search out the sources of what we want. So I think it's a bit of both. Some people believe everything they see. Now with the AI videos, I've seen people believing the AI pictures or videos they see, whereby it has absolutely nothing to do with the reality. So there are people who are easily misled, whilst there are others who think. So a bit of both. A bit of both. I think social media does also make people a little bit very dependent on what they see on social media, but on the other hand, it has created a lot of good outreaches, a lot of situations and scenarios in which people were benefited. A population or a person was benefited. I remember the situation. I don't know if you guys will remember this, and I found this intriguing. Some years ago, there was a couple. They were dating, and they were in a KFC. And the guy proposed to the lady in KFC, and someone went and, with a very toxic mindset, took that picture and spitefully posted that this guy was proposing to the lady in KFC. I'm sure you guys saw this. And that began to trend to the point in which companies started to sponsor their wedding. I think it started with KFC saying, it's okay, we're going to sponsor this amount of this to you guys for your wedding. And then another company, another one will sponsor the honeymoon. The other one will sponsor the wedding dress. We'll sponsor the suit. We'll sponsor the wedding venue. Before you knew it, they had a beautiful, lavish wedding simply because somebody was being toxic. Now, once upon a time, people had only the one side of that story. Now, because people can reply through social media, interact, we get to do something about that situation. So I think it can go both ways, and it's up to each and every one of us to learn how to have balance with our usage of the internet, of social media, and every information that is fed to us. I hope that answers your question of yet another very, very intriguing question. I've got two more to go, and we're going to wrap up. I hope you guys are liking this.
My question is, what is the one thing that the older generation completely misunderstands about the modern youth?
You want to cause issues for me. Let's play that again. I need to tread carefully on this one.
Hi, my question is, what is the one thing that the older generation completely misunderstands about the modern youth?
I see a lot of this thing where people like to say, in my time, in my time, in my time. And I was speaking about this the other day. We always want to tell others that in my time, it was much better. I remember going to my high school, and I'm still inclined to my although I'm opposing the thought, but in this case I'm still inclined to maintaining this opinion. When I saw how things were being run in my high school, and I remembered how I was talking about my days, this was like this, that was like that. But guess what? Those days are gone, and every old generation likes to compare their time with the current times, and that is something which naturally causes misunderstanding. I'm not going to get into much details on it because, if I'm not mistaken, not this Friday, the following Friday, we're going to have a VYG featuring, or rather woman to woman featuring VYG and other generations. It's a whole generational discussion. And one of the most important aspects is the understanding of one another. Understanding that if you come from a generation where people weren't on TikTok, today the generation is all about TikTok. So understand and respect that. How can you help? How can you bring positive feed instead of just bashing at them, because they're not going to be like your days? The music which you liked will not be liked today. And that generation is going to age. I was watching, ironically, one of these days, these memes, and it was millennials and Gen Zs, and somebody says it's all fun and games until the alpha gens come in, and you realize that even the Gen Zs are starting to feel old because, hey, there's a brand new trend and so forth, the skibbity and the 6767 and blah, blah, blah. Moral of the story is times are different. Learn to respect. People aren't going to like what you like. People aren't going to be like how you are. We're all different, and the generation makes it to be even more different. So I think that misunderstanding on how we behave, how we think, how we do things, as opposed to how things used to be back in the days. I'm not going to get into much details on this one because I want you guys to watch that program. It's going to be interesting. I am heading to the last question before I love you guys and leave you guys.
Hi. My question is, how can young entrepreneurs and professionals maintain momentum and self-worth when navigating a job market or economic landscape that feels constantly restrictive?
Whew. Let me try to hear that again.
Hi. My question is, how can young entrepreneurs and professionals maintain momentum and self-worth when navigating a job market or economic landscape that feels constantly restrictive?
I'm just going to say one thing. I don't think I fully understood the question. I would rather be able to break it down. But I will break it down when you speak about, let me just hear it one more time. I think I just want to get this right, what you said in the beginning.
Hi. My question is, how can young entrepreneurs and professionals maintain momentum and self-worth when navigating a job?
Okay, I'll stop there. Maintaining self-worth, right? Momentum and self-worth. I think it goes back to one of the first, if not the first, discipline. Discipline is everything. Discipline makes us to look where we are heading and not where we want to go. Because we want to go many places, but if you are not focused there, if your eyes are not there, if you're not looking there, if you're not, locked in there, it's worthless. It's worthless. I want to go to the right, but I'm too focused on the left. Nothing's going to happen. I'm not going to make it to the right. So momentum is, or rather discipline, makes us to start here and keep my eyes here. Keep my eyes where I want to reach. So I don't want to deviate from that. I feel like deviating, but my discipline helps me to keep going in that direction in order for me to conquer what I want to conquer. So I think discipline is without a doubt the most important thing. And this is why I always say it's so important for us to surround ourselves with people who add positivity to our lives, people who add things which are positive to our lives and not people who subtract or divide in our lives, people who multiply. Hence the work of the VYG, which is specifically for that. All right, fam, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A session. I know I did. I am not seeing much here in the comment section, but I hope you guys take it. Every last Wednesday of the month, we will be having a Q&A session. Myself, Shaga, and General, we will be answering questions. I forgot to mention if you guys had questions now, but my time is up. However, in a month's time, let me say, last Wednesday of June, which will be after our June 16 event, I'll be back here. We will be back here for us to answer more questions. And if you got a question, then send it through to your coordinator and we're going to answer it. All right. Now, for us to go, 16 June at 11 a.m. to 4456 Imink Drive, Zone 6, Deep Kloof in Soweto. And across Mzansi, we will be having our June 16 event. It is the biggest event of the VYG. And you know that this year we are working for going for gold. What we want to do is to go for gold. And this event has a lot to do with going for gold. Whoa, but PJ, you're talking about tea. Tea's gone cold. Yes, tea's gone cold, but we're going for gold. We'll talk about it 16th June. Make sure you don't come alone. And if you want to come join us for the main event in Joburg, you're more than welcome. We'll be at the grounds waiting for you. Bring your friends, bring your school, bring your colleagues, bring your neighbors, bring whoever. Let them know that if it ain't gold, it ain't good enough. Take care of yourselves. I am going to be out of here. Saturday, we will be back with the Vibe O'Clock. And we have yet another intriguing topic to cover and the competitions to begin with the build-up for the June 16 Tea's Gone Cold event. We out of here. Well, I'm out of here.
Walking on this journey, faced with all its trials, I've been held back so many times, thinking I wasn't good enough. But now I'm standing on his promise. He held me when I was down. He carried me through it all. ain't gold, it